Welcome back to America Decides. New reporting is shedding light on the man at the State Department in charge of dismantling USAID. ProPublica revealed that Peter Marocco secretly met with Bosnian Serb separatist leaders in the Balkans during the first Trump administration. One of those Christian nationalists in attendance was under U.S. sanctions at the time. This was just one of several actions Marocco took that violated agency policy. One of the journalists behind that investigation, Brett Murphy, joins us now. Brett, it is great to see you. It was a fascinating article because I think a lot of people, when Morocco first started dismantling USAID with rapid speed, wondered, who is this guy and what's his backstory? And you really fleshed it out, and it is a very unusual backstory.
Yeah, that's right. He was well known to people inside of the State Department, inside of USAID. He had worked at both agencies in the previous administration, as well as the Pentagon. And this episode in the Balkans was really illustrative for a lot of them because they said it was something he did often, leaving the reservation to meet on his own with emissaries and other officials abroad without speaking with the ambassador first. This meeting he had with the Serb separatists was incredibly important because one of the people he met with was Milorad Dodik. Milorad Dodik is the president of Republika Srpska, and as you said, he was at the time under U.S. sanctions. He was under U.S. sanctions by the Trump administrations for undermining the Dayton Agreement, which is our critical peace agreement that the U.S. drew up after the genocide in Bosnia-Herzegovina. So this was really, really important, and having that meeting was a big no-no, and it got him in some hot water at the time.
Yeah, and you outlined several examples in different countries where U.S. policy said one thing and he went in the other direction, really angering and frustrating both colleagues and officials at USAID.
The thing that came up a lot in the reporting, and it's come up recently as well, is his nods to Christian nationalism and his questions over what exactly USAID is doing, why USAID exists, why foreign aid exists. In a meeting just this week, just this past week, he met with the House Foreign Affairs Committee, and these questions came up again. He was questioning the constitutionality of foreign aid. He brought up the color revolutions, and he thought that there may be some criminal activity. He was kind of vague about it at the agency that he's been dismantling, and these were very alarming comments to some of the lawmakers who were in the meeting because he was, of course, echoing sentiments that have come out of the Kremlin about protests, in the Balkans and in other parts of the world. So this has all been really concerning to a lot of people. And that president he met with back in 2018, Milorad Dodik, has said since then that he is pro-Russia, anti-West, and anti-U.S. So this is all alarming to a lot of people who have been watching him closely for years now.
Yeah, I mean, in the article, you described his efforts to rapidly disassemble USAID as almost a personal vendetta against the agency and the people who had criticized him over the years. Why did you draw that conclusion?
Yeah, so last time around, when he was at USAID, he was frequently trying to conduct reviews of the programming. He was getting out in front of the people who were above him. He was crossing lines with people who worked alongside him. And what he kept saying he wanted to do was review these programs, questioning why they existed at all. Anything that had a budget item, line item over $10,000, he wanted to personally review. And a lot of the people he worked with at the time said this effectively was, seemed like an effort to halt a lot of these operations on a smaller scale to what we're seeing right now. He ran afoul of a lot of the people he worked with, so much so that, towards the end of his tenure at USAID last time around, he was kind of on the bench right up until the end of the administration. So what those folks are saying now, what they're seeing now, is sort of a at-scale version of what he was trying to do last time, and that is to effectively end all of U.S. foreign aid. And they have not made qualms about that's what they're doing right now.
Right, and he's been pretty effective at it because USAID has been shrunk down to almost nothing, although there are a lot of lawsuits still pending. Brett Murphy, it was a fascinating article. Thank you so much for joining us to talk about it.
Thanks, Nancy.